the reinforcements? I thought the captain would send more.
You're a member of the Guard, right?
I'm Lieutenant Harley, and this is what's left of my patrol. This disaster was my first routine assignment.
I happen to be in the area. Seeing the sights, killing bandits, the usual.
Not the best time for jest. We're up against Evet's Marauders. Felorden's up there, and Victor Longdeath's handiwork you've already seen. We tried 2 sorties up the path, but it's trapped to oblivion. Now I'd be thankful just to get out of here alive.
No fair, guard dog! You brought friends!
Shut your mouth!
Felorden, Victor Longdeath, what are you talking about?
They've been robbing and raping for Maker knows how long. Did a broad daylight assault on the keep to rescue one of their number 2 years back. Felorden, a blood mage, is here. Victor Longdeath, Sophie. We have to end them.
It's too dangerous for you and your men. Stay put. I'll take care of it.
Look out for traps. Be careful. Evet's Marauders are deadly. They're all dead? I can't believe it. I'll tell Lieutenant Jalen at the keep what you've done. I'll make sure he rewards you. Men! We're heading home!
Lieutenant Harley said I should see you about a reward.
That's it. Not even going to mention your scuffle with Evet's Marauders. Killing the whole lot of them.
That does ring a bell. Hard to remember. I've killed so many things.
I believe that. I do. There's one small rub, though. Their leader, Evitz, wasn't there, was he?
I don't think so. They weren't wearing name tags.
Evitz is the worst of the lot. He may try to get revenge one day.
He can wait his turn. I won't lose any sleep over it.
Maybe nothing will come of it. Thanks again for your help.
I found your patrol. They won't be coming back.
You have stolen my duty, Basra. We were supplied for this task, but you have done this instead. Take what was meant for us.
Last bottle of the Egregio. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
And what's that?
The anniversary of my escape. Astia Vala Firmundis. Care to hear the story?
I thought you avoided talking about this.
Not on special occasions.
I'd like that.
Let's see. You've heard of Saharan? The Imperium and the Qunari have fought over the island for centuries now. I was there with Denarius during a Qunari attack. I managed to get him to a ship, but there was no room for a slave. I was left behind. I barely got out of the city alive.
There's nothing like war for covering one's escape.
I had no intention of escaping. That time. There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Denarius finally came for me.
He was relieved to see you'd survived, right?
Relieved to see his investment hadn't ended up in Qunari hands, perhaps. I'd grown fond of the rebels. They bowed to no master and fought for their freedom. It was beyond my experience. When Denarius came, they refused to let him take me. He ordered me to kill them. So I did. I killed them all.
Once a slave, always a slave?
It felt inevitable. My master had returned and this fantasy life was over. But once it was done, I looked down at their bodies. I felt I couldn't. I ran and never looked back.
Couldn't you have found other Fog Warriors? Become a rebel?
Even if I did, I felt unworthy. I had no way of knowing if I could truly escape from Denarius then. I didn't even know what that meant. I simply had to get away. I stowed aboard a ship to the mainland and moved south, chased by my former master every step of the way.
I have to wonder why you stayed with Denarius as long as you did.
You have not been a slave. A slave does not dream of freedom or wonder at possibilities. You think only of your master's desires and what the next hour will bring. It did not occur to me that I could be anything else until I had a taste of it.
But there are stories of slaves rebelling all the time. They did in Kirkwall.
The ritual that gave me my markings also stripped me of my memory. Whatever I was before may as well have never been. Perhaps if I knew, I might have felt differently.
How well did you know these Fog Warriors?
I knew them only a few months, but in that time, I felt as if I truly lived. They were bold, strong, free with their affections. I was in awe of them and owed them everything. And I turned on them even so.
Didn't Denarius stop you?
The rebels had wounded him. The soldiers he brought attempted to capture me, unsuccessfully. It was weeks before Denarius was able to mount the hunt in earnest, but by then, I was already gone.
Gripping stuff. You should write it down.
You think they teach slaves how to write? I've never spoken about what happened to anyone. I've never wanted to. Perhaps this is what it means to have a friend.
Might want to take it easy on that bottle.
It's the last one, I swear. To you, Hawke. May I fight at your side for years to come.
I brought you something. It's shiny and subversive. I thought you'd like it.
You got me a gift? I hardly think I've done anything to deserve that. Is it a... That's a Tevinter Chantry amulet. Do you want me to get executed? It's sacrilege to wear those in any land under the Divine.
Here, I thought you fight for mages' rights. Whoever's bad side that puts you on.
I like it. Maybe not on the outside of my clothes. I'm not that eager to face the hangman's noose. But I appreciate the thought. I've never really thought about what life would be like in the Tevinter Chantry. In the Circle, they make it sound like the Void itself. The Black Divine stalking Thedas, making it unsafe for kittens and virgins.
I don't support the Tevinter Chantry. I just thought you'd like the amulet.
Well, I do. Thank you. I appreciate the gift. Perhaps one day I can return one as meaningful.
Hello, Emmerich. The guard captain says you're still chasing disappearing acts.
That's not funny. I need your help urgently. I've spent the past few years continuing my investigation into the murders of Ninette, Merrin, and the other women. I believe I finally have a suspect. A man called Gascard Dupuis.
Dupuis. That's a funny name.
It's Orlesian. I believe he is descended from nobility. When I became convinced of his guilt, I went to the city guard and demanded that they do something. The guards raided his mansion and found nothing. They were forced to apologize, and I was reprimanded. Meredith forbade me from continuing my investigation. But she didn't say I couldn't seek outside help.
Were you the only person investigating these murders?
Yes, unfortunately. The Templar Order believes this is a matter for the City Guard. And the City Guard, well, they rejected my evidence and dismissed the murders as isolated incidents. They don't care either. Women are dying out there, and no one's doing anything.
I retrieved a sack of human remains for you. Didn't you show it to the guard?
I did. They said the remains could have been gathered together by scavengers looking for bits of gold and jewelry. They said there was no way to tell if the remains even belonged to the missing women. I had no choice but to continue the investigation on my own.
What have you learned about Gascard Dupuis?
He's a reclusive nobleman who's rarely seen outside his estate in Hightown. He knew 2 of the murdered women and made inquiries about the others. It cannot be a coincidence.
It cannot be a coincidence. It sounds exactly like a coincidence.
Gascard Dupuis is hiding something. I'm convinced of it.
And I'm supposed to be the outside help.
My hands are tied. I can't do this on my own. What if one of the women who died was someone you loved? If Gascard Dupuis is guilty, he must be stopped before he kills again.
This is a worthy cause. If we can help, we should.
Why is it always Hawk to the rescue?
I can't really answer that. You'll need to go to Gascard Dupuis' estate after nightfall. Please figure out what Dupuis is hiding. If he's innocent, find evidence to prove me wrong. It's just that simple.
Help me, please! He's gone mad!
You're not him. Shit, I know what this looks like, but I didn't hurt her.
Do you take me for a fool?
No, I didn't mean... I don't know why you're here, but there's a killer out there, and I think he's playing us both. Just let me explain.
All right. We'll see if you can talk yourself out of this.
20 silver if he says, "It wasn't me, it was the one-armed man."
Several years ago, my sister was murdered. The bastard's now in Kirkwall, killing again. The same way he killed my sister. It starts with a bouquet of white lilies. He sends them to each new victim. Alessa was going to be next. I took her, so he'd have to come to me. I was finally going to face my sister's killer, but then you showed up.
He's lying! He hurt me!
I've explained this. I need your blood to track you down. If he took you, it was for your protection.
Let go of me!
She'll go straight to the city guard. They'll ruin everything.
I could report you to the Templars for blood magic.
Yes, I've used blood magic and lyrium to augment my powers. I'm not proud of what I've done, but I had to. He took my sister from me.
Emmerich was certain you were the killer.
Of course he was. But I was trying to find the killer just like him. Our paths crossed and he just assumed I was the murderer.
You really did make yourself a target, though. Kidnapping people and all. I suppose that's fair. Nice story, but I don't buy it.
No. I've worked too hard. It can't end like this.
Aren't you Hawk? Emmerich left not long ago. He said you'd arranged to meet tonight.
Did I tell him that? I must have completely forgotten.
Don't you remember sending this message?
I didn't send this.
You didn't? Strange.
That's not a good sign.
Well, I don't know. Emmerich's been acting strangely for months. It's probably just a misunderstanding. Some mage sent that thing here to kill him. Why would anyone... Oh, Maker. The murders. Emmerich was right. He was getting too close. He suspected a man named Gascard Dupuis. Did he do this?
I killed Gascard.
Then who sent the creature? Whoever did this is a dangerous apostate that Meredith will want found. I will see to it personally. Thank you for your help in this matter. If you learn anything more, please come to me.
Hawk, I've got some news. You might not want to be near anything breakable when I tell you, though.
Why don't I buy you a pint and we'll talk?
You just keep making this harder. Although I won't say no to a pint, if you're buying. I've had an ear out for Bartrand. After the Deep Roads, he ran to Ravain, probably because he knew I couldn't track him. But I hear he might be back in Kirkwall. He called in loans from a few of his contacts in Hightown.
Was he staying in Hightown, or just passing through?
If my information is good, and it's always good, he has a house there. Which gives us a good shot at having a word with my dear sweet brother.
How are you holding up, Varric?
Me? My no-account backstabbing brother is practically in arm's reach. I couldn't be better.
Would Bartrand really risk coming back here?
I think we both know by now that Bartrand would risk anything for money. There's a much better market here for that trinket he stole, and all his contacts are in Kirkwall.
I've really missed Bartrand. We've got a lot of catching up to do.
I agree. Bianca's been missing him something awful. Let's stop by his new house. Welcome him back to the neighborhood and all that.
Greetings, Master. Your home was difficult to find. I've never been out on my own before, but I found it. Many people know of you. I hope I've made myself useful. I've already begun cleaning, and I can cook. Not as good as Papa, but a little. Is there anything else you'd like me to do?
You've been through a great deal. How are you feeling?
I miss Papa, the other servants. I try not to think about what happened. I even feel sorry for the Magister. Is that bad?
I'm sure Hadriana was very thankful for such loyalty.
I suppose she was. I'll serve you just as well, Master. You'll see.
What sort of skills do you have?
Not many, I fear. The Magister bade me to clean, and sometimes fetch, but Papa told me to keep out of her sight as much as I could. But I can learn. I'll serve you well. Please don't hurt me.
If you're staying here, Arana, it will be as my servant.
You mean, I won't be a slave anymore?
You'll be paid, like anyone else.
A slave is all I've ever been, like Papa and Grandpapa before me. I'll try to be a good servant. Thank you, Master. You're too good to me.
I've been wondering if I shouldn't remarry. I've heard that pirate girl of yours talk. I'm sure the last thing you need is your mother watching over your shoulder every time you come home. But perhaps there is still life once your children have outgrown you.
You've been through a lot. You deserve any joy you can find.
Thank you, love. No one could ever replace your father. But it is refreshing to think I could still be courted at this age.
You take good care of us, don't you? Want some pets? I bet you do. You're selling the assets of Javaris Tintop?
We are. Limited districts, limited contracts. Keeps territory clear and separate from the start. He had a meager lot, but he skipped with dues outstanding. So up it goes.
Sounds like he's made a few friends. Can one of them point me his way?
Ask that about anyone else, I'd have you thrown out. This one, he owes me too. Javaris left in a hurry. I'd put him at Smuggler's Cut if he's avoiding patrols. It empties at a cave outside town. Tell him I said, don't come back.
That any way to greet an old friend?
You? Granny's garters, she would hire you. I can't buy a break on discount. You know what? Go ahead. Take my head and pike it back to that sodding elf. I need the rest.
What in blazes are you talking about?
But you don't know? Then what? You're tracking for the Qunari? Then she did it. That elf got them after me for nothing. Bitch born.
Him being our man would be a trifle too easy.
Look, I'm minding business, same old. Then out of the blue, some elf tries to kill me. Says she's got the Qunari powder and I'm her cover. I slipped her, hired some bodyguards, and ran for it. And now you're here. Great.
So far, all I see is you.
Leaving the other person behind is the first step in running away. Sorry if that's inconvenient. Here. Want to drag Dark into light? I had a man follow her. The elf's in Lowtown. I just want to get out with my dead guards. Thanks for that.
Sounds like you have a long way to go. Hopefully.
Right. Got me a rosy future to plan out. Think I'll start by selling some boots. Sodding bunch of... Take a long breath on a short shaft, you blasted dog lord inroaders.
All of you, I can't fight the damned air. You want to live, stay out.
Yes, stay out. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Wait. Messer Hawk. Maker, please, the street is death. There was a cloud that drove people mad, and now a seeping mist that kills. All I can do is warn people. If someone like you dies on my watch, I'm right stuffed.
Well, hold your breath.
But... shit.
So, your fault, I presume?
Is that... Sirrah Hawk? You have enemies. I'm glad it's you, really. These poor people. You are a much better target.
So, care to explain your particular brand of crazy?
Qunari take my people. My siblings forget their culture, then go to the Qun for purpose. We're losing them twice. So I get some help from your people. We'll take the Qunari Thunder, make some accidents, and make them hate it. But this is all wrong.
You were going to kill people anyway. That's not funny at all, really.
It can still work. They're hidden in your city. They'll enrage the faithful and make sure the Qunari are blamed. Me, I'm finished. I just need a few more bodies. A few more.
So, I was wrong about our thief.
You'll get used to it.
They say we were careless with our trap, that this is our fault. But even without the Sarkamek, there would have been death. This elf was determined to lay blame at our feet. Selfishness, want, denial. How do you allow this to continue?
If you dislike Kirkwall so much, why haven't you left?
Since we arrived, I have seen nothing but greed and weakness. Dwarves, humans, elves, just festering. No order, no goal. You are one of the few I have met with any ability. And yet this too was random, a result of selfishness. I cannot fathom how a mire like this can be justified. You say we should leave, but how can you bear to stay in this chaos?
Why would anyone want to change it?
You like it?
It's a city of people living their lives, for good or ill.
Karasten are soldiers. The Qun made it so. They can never vary from that assigned path, never be other than they are meant to be. But they are free to choose within that role, to accept and succeed, or deny and die. Glory is clear and defined. You allow chaos for good or ill, but one is clearly superior. Can you see how that certainty would benefit this whole city?
He's free to choose to obey. That isn't contradictory to you?
He chooses to be, as do we all, long before any of your meaningless freedoms are presented. Your kind may force our role to change, if the Qun demands.
Why aren't you more concerned about her supporters?
Our enemies strike from shadow because they cannot stand before us. This is not a revelation. And it doesn't matter. I am not here to fight. I am here to satisfy a demand you cannot understand.
It's taking long enough.
It will take as long as needed. No ship is coming. There is no rescue from duty to the Qun. I am stuck here.
That is not the understanding of city leaders and their supporters.
Let them rot. Filth stole from us. Not now, not the Sarkamek. Years ago. A simple act of greed has bound me. We are all denied Parvolen until I alone recover what was lost under my command. That is why this elf and her shadows are unimportant. That is why I do not simply walk from this pustule of a city. Fixing your mess is not the demand of the Qun, and you should all be grateful! Thank you, human, for your service. Leave.
Years of nice, quiet anxiety. Gone. Along with a whole street.
An accident on purpose, more or less.
Right. A mad elf, pushed by zealots, likely hidden in the very groups I have to appease. The Maker has a grand sense of humor. And the Arishok. I suspected he had no plans to leave. I didn't know it was just as annoying for him.
He's a hair from the edge. You need to keep everyone calm.
Too late, I fear. It's a shame. He was making overtures of cordialness. Your influence, no doubt.
Do I want to hear what happened?
A Qunari delegate and entourage paid me a visit. It was civil, tentative, hopeful. They left my chambers with precision, but were not reported by the Outer Guard. They are missing almost literally from my doorstep. What do you imagine will be the Arishok's reaction?
Do the Qunari generally keep you updated?
Qunari do not disappear. They know we watch, and they are not shy about their movement. Speak to Seneschal Bran. He has details that show how damning this is.
You have information about the missing Qunari?
I am to help you, yes. Viscount Dumas would appreciate discretion in this matter. I would prefer that you were not involved at all. But that is neither here nor there.
It sounds like you don't want them found.
I must think of what is best for the Viscount's office. Bringing attention to such an incident benefits no one.
You would do nothing?
The Qunari are neutral hostiles at best. There is no relationship to salvage by overextending ourselves on their behalf.
The Arishok is growing violent. He might want an excuse to end this peace.
I suspect that if the Arishok wanted to take over, he simply would. For all we fear that heretical Qun of his, its demands have done more to keep him in check than any of our efforts. Besides, would Qunari stoop to trickery? There is no precedent, but there is unfortunate evidence of influence on our side.
I'm having a hard time picturing the abduction of a Qunari entourage.
Unfortunately, they were not at their best. Their swords were tied into their sheaths, as I advised. It seemed a respectful compromise. Even I know you cannot separate a Qunari from his weapon.
I'm sure you have suspicions about what happened.
My concerns are well-founded. This could not have escaped the notice of the city guard. Unless they were involved. Not coincidentally, a number of recent recruits have failed to report. You should start with one of them. Although where you find a swordsman so eager to sell his honor and duty, I'm sure I don't know.
The Hanged Man.
Hanged Man. Even I know that. Right. Then you know what to look for. I can't imagine this has occurred without notice. There is always a weak link.
I have something for you.
Ooh, what's this? Oh, isn't that just the cutest thing?
You can't see it, but below deck there's a perfect replica of you with a dozen sailors in attendance.
You tease. I'm sure there isn't. It is a worthy goal to work towards, however. Thank you, Hawk. This was a thoughtful gesture.
Have you noticed how many Tranquil are in the gallows courtyard lately? And don't tell me I'm just sensitive to it. I've been watching, and every day there are new Tranquil, selling their bloody wares. Good mages, too. People I know past their harrowing.
Are you imagining some sinister plot to turn all the mages in Kirkwall tranquil?
I'm not imagining it. The Templars are using the Right of Tranquility to silence those who speak against them. They're working on a deliberate plan to turn every mage in Kirkwall within the next 3 years.
Who's behind this?
The plan is the work of a Templar named Sir Ulrich. I've had a run-in with him myself. He's the one who did the ritual on Karl. Nasty piece of work. Likes to make mages beg.
What happened between you and Sir Ulrich?
I've been involved with an underground resistance. Mages living free in Kirkwall who help others escape. I can't tell you any more, for your sake and theirs. You have too much involvement with the Guard and nobility. Suffice it to say, I've been in the gallows. I've seen his work firsthand.
What happened between you and Sir Ulrich?
I've been involved with an underground resistance. Mages living free in Kirkwall. I can't... Suffice it to say, I've been in the gallows. I've seen his work firsthand.
What else do you know about Sir Ulrich?
The Knight Commander is at least sincere in her convictions. However misguided, she believes she's helping people. Sir Ulrich's a sadist. Cold-blooded as a lizard. He likes to experiment on mages. Find out what it takes to push them into the arms of demons.
How do we stop them?
My friends in the Mage Underground know a way inside. A secret entrance under the walls of the gallows. Come with me tonight, please. Help me find the evidence of Sir Ulrich's tranquil solution.
What do you mean, tranquil solution?
That's what he calls it. His idea of a peaceful solution to the mage problem. To sunder the mind of every mage in the Free Marches. I'm told he's bringing his proposal to Val Royeaux, to the Divine herself. He would turn every mage in Thedas into a drooling simpleton under his command.
I'll be there. Though this Sir Ulrich would be a fool to keep such a plan in writing.
I am honored by your trust. I'm ready to go when you are. Our entrance is concealed not far from here. Have you noticed how many Tranquil are in the gallows courtyard lately? And don't tell me I'm just sensitive to it. I've been watching, and every day there are new Tranquil, selling their bloody wares. Good mages, too. People I know past their harrowing.
Doesn't Chantry law say that mages who pass their harrowing can't be made tranquil?
Exactly. The Templars are using the Right of Tranquility to silence those who speak against them. They're working on a deliberate plan to turn every mage in Kirkwall within the next 3 years.
Who's behind this?
The plan is the work of a Templar named Sir Ulrich. I've had a run-in with him myself. He's the one who did the ritual on Karl. Nasty piece of work. Likes to make mages beg.
What happened between you and Sir Ulrich?
I've been involved with an underground resistance. Mages living free in Kirkwall who help others escape. I can't tell you any more, for your sake and theirs. You have too much involvement with the Guard and nobility. Suffice it to say, I've been in the gallows. I've seen his work firsthand.
How do we stop them?
My friends in the Mage Underground know a way inside. A secret entrance under the walls of the gallows. Come with me tonight, please. Help me find the evidence of Sir Ulrich's tranquil solution.
I'll be there. Though this Sir Ulrich would be a fool to keep such a plan in writing.
Then let us pray he's a fool as well as a bastard. I'm ready to go when you are. Our entrance is concealed not far from here.
I've got something to show you. Come and see. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Something seems off about your mirror. Shouldn't it reflect the room?
No. It's not that sort of mirror. I've spent the last few years restoring this. One of my clan found it in the Brazilian forest, we think.
Poor Tamlin. We never found him. Just the shattered pieces of the Alluvion.
Do you think the mirror had something to do with Tamlin's disappearance?
The ruin we tracked Tamlin to was full of traps and monstrous things, but we found no body. His trail ended at the broken pieces of Alluvion.
What are you trying to do with this mirror?
At first, I just wanted to find Tamlin. But it's been too long. Tamlin is probably dead by now, if he wasn't already. But still, I know it can help my people. I can at least recover this one small part of our heritage.
What's an Alluvion?
Long ago, the elves had a kingdom. An empire that covered Thedas. And every city had an Alluvion. The mirrors let them communicate across their empire. But I don't know how exactly. My people have lost so much. We know almost nothing of the days before Arlathan. This is a piece of our history.
This thing is what made the Keeper send you away, isn't it?
The Keeper wanted me to destroy the fragment I kept. She said our ancestors meant it to be forgotten. But it's a Keeper's place to remember. Even the dangerous things. We argued. I left. She's wrong. This mirror could teach us so much about who we once were.
This thing may have killed someone, and you brought it here.
It's not dangerous, I promise. I fixed it, or tried to. With blood magic. The mirror won't hurt anyone.
I cringe every time she says that. She has no idea what she's messing with.
I do. I have it totally under control. But it doesn't work. I've tried everything, and I think it's because it needs to be finished with a special tool. An Arulin home. And my clan has one. It's been in their hands for generations.
I hear a butt coming.
I can't go back there alone. You have no idea, the Keeper. I can't talk to her. We fight or talk circles around each other. She has a disappointed frown that turns your bones to jelly. Please, help me. You will, won't you?
I'm not helping you fix a mirror that kills people.
It doesn't. I guess it was foolish of me to ask. I'll just have to find another way.
Hawk, I need a favor that I can only trust to you.
Oh? This should be good.
It should be a small matter, but I worry. I need you to give something to Guardsman Donnick, here in the barracks. No questions, and he is not to know it's from me.
Donnick? The one we pulled from an ambush?
The event that put me here. But this is a different need of the Guard and its captain. And you're doing very badly at the no questions part.
You need me for something as simple as this?
I protect many people, citizens well beyond the men and women I command. But who do I really know besides you? I need a friend to do this. It's a short list.
It must be something important if you're going to all this trouble.
That's none of your business.
How very Qunari of you.
I already regret this. I'm not about to make it worse by exposing unnecessary facts. You can accept that or not, but that's all I can say.
If that's all you need, I'll walk the 100 feet to him.
Thank you. And please hurry back with his reaction. I appreciate this, Hawk. I really do.
Guardsman Donnick.
Sir Hawk, it's been some time. You're here in Hightown now, right? I think the captain mentioned it. I see your uncle now and then on my patrols, but we don't talk.
No ill effects from the ambush, I trust?
They got me pretty good, I'll admit. But they fared worse, so I can't complain. Guard is a good career if you're careful. A short one if you're not. And the captain makes sure we're careful.
I have it on good authority that you are going to enjoy this.
Am I now? It's a copper relief of marigolds? Ah, and it helpfully says so. Marigolds. Well, how crafty. Is there a meaning to this that I should know?
Possibly, here, you throw this away?
Well, it certainly conveys that. Right. I'm sure we both have things to do, of varying import. Sir Hawk.
I'm not seeing the sense to this.
You're back. Of course you are. You're efficient. Get things done, good or ill. So, how did Donnick react?
To your garbage, you mean?
I thought it was clear. Metal is strong, copper ages well, flowers are soft. I've clearly gone about this the wrong way. Don't talk to him again. Just take this, the patrols for next week. Post it to the roster and just listen.
Really? Just walk over there and post the roster?
I want his honest reaction without the captain present.
You could just have him hauled off.
This isn't about an accusation I can put in a report and explain. I need someone unofficial.
All right. Posting the roster just over there.
I need to know exactly how he reacts. That's key. Thank you.
So much doubt. Unusual, but clearly important.
Hey, Donnick! Whose pucker have you been greasing to get Hightown?
What? You're daft. I'm working dockside on those smugglers.
Says here you're guarding the square. Always been a make-work job, that one. You someone's pet?
Check your eyes. It's a mistake.
Says the pet.
You have got to be kidding me. What did I do to get that post?
Donnick thinks I'm punishing him. But Hightown is a safe patrol, a reward.
You wanted his reaction.
All right. I can fix this. I need 3 goats and a sheaf of wheat. You'll take them to his mother. It's a dowry tradition. Maybe it will smooth the process.
I think my jaw just landed in the deep road somewhere.
Not a word, dwarf.
I wouldn't dream of mocking your unconventional courtship.
How exactly did you think this mess would work?
I don't know what I thought. I've been focused on being captain for so long, that's all I know.
Correct me if I'm about to get punched, but weren't you married?
That was a long time ago. It was easier, or seemed to be.
I can't imagine you having trouble speaking your mind.
It's just fear. I know it's foolish, but I can't get away from it. What about you and Isabella? I know she doesn't have two thoughts to rub together, but the danger of your lives must worry you.
Maybe we're not the best example.
But you understand. I feel paralyzed. I hate it.
Sounds like you're ready to move on.
It's been 4 years since Wesley. Stop trying to protect me. I've made my peace. You'd want me to live.
So you've been by yourself since we came to Kirkwall?
I am diligent on behalf of my men. And I've neglected many other things.
I can drag him in here right now. Just say the word.
Oh, and how would that look? The captain ordering her guardsmen to... It wouldn't help.
There are places in this city where no one cares that you're captain.
What? Just go out somewhere? Like it's that easy?
What? Too simple?
Tell Donnic, invite him to the Hanged Man. Don't tell him about me. Make something up. It's a surprise, or just you, or a group, anything to get him there. He's not like the others. I don't want him to think he's meeting the captain.
Guardsman Donnic, how are you?
Good, I suppose.
Doesn't matter. Free for an evening?
I have no immediate patrols. Why?
A night at the Hanged Man for all the guard. You'll come? Of course you'll come.
Should I have heard of this? Very well, Sirrah Hawk. I guess I'll be there.
Seamus, wasn't it? The Viscount's boy.
You're here rather often, Sirrah Hawk. A good influence, I think. Even by not taking sides, you helped start something. I still accept no blame for defending Qunari. And I don't miss the kinship of the people who oppose what I believe.
You're determined to be a thorn in someone's side. Good for you.
I'm the son of the Viscount. My actions are dissected no matter what I believe. I may as well try to do some good. If I offend, well, some people try very hard to be offended. There are other ways to see the world. The Qunari have shown me that.
A fascinating breed. Such intelligence and strength. Do you ever wonder what he thinks about?
He still thinks about dog things, just with more clarity.
Are you aware that this breed originated in Tevinter? The Magisters bred them. It said the Mabari defected during the Imperium's invasion of Ferelden. Merely a tale, but I rather like the idea they found the barbarians more palatable than the mages. Exactly so. Let's hope your hound doesn't take after his ancestors too strongly, hmm?
Rich spending. It's a bit over your head, isn't it?
That's right, pal. Tonight I'm paid and blessed. And all I had to do was turn my head. To all my friends. Hey, step back. I know important people. We're gonna show this city what to do with heathen Oxman.
Someone has deep pockets. I want an introduction.
Somebody always wants something. But I don't have to take that anymore. 3 hornheads are just a start. You want some of this? Take it from me and my new friends. You're on your own, pal. That's loyalty for you. Come on.
Feeling a little friendlier?
What? What do you want? I just did what he said. It was more coin than I've ever seen.
Come on. Someone so generous they deserve recognition.
Templar. It was a Templar. I didn't get the name. We met near the Chantry. He said taking these Kunari was serving the Maker. I swear, he even had the seal of the Grand Cleric. True is true.
A fine joke, that. A Templar. Her Grace would never be involved in something like this.
There were supposed to be others coming, right?
Plans change. Apparently.
Right. Look, I should really,
What? No. Sit. Drink. Another round?
Make a yes.
So, Aveline is great.
Look, if this was all a plan for you to get closer to the captain, maybe you should just talk to her. I mean, how sad would it be if you needed a go-between? Have some backbone. I have to go. Thanks for the drinks.
I couldn't do it. What did he say?
He thinks I arranged this to get to you.
I'm an idiot.
Admitting it is a good step. Where are you heading next?
The barracks, Ferelden, the deepest hole I can find.
You've never been the hiding type.
I know, all right, but I freeze up. The only place I'm not a mess is on patrol. And killing highwaymen doesn't afford much opportunity for banter.
Again, she deflects.
I will not risk.
You're squandering something you don't understand.
You can't ignore advice from such a stable source.
But I can't fight and talk.
I'll clear the way, and you can see if he's the one.
You're too good at this. Is it any wonder you've all but taken Hightown? You clear the route up the Wounded Coast, and I will think of something to say.
So this route's pretty quiet?
Yes, and it's a real nice night for an evening.
As you say, Captain.
Yes, as I say.
Maker, she's bad at this.
If it isn't done right, the blade can be too soft. Quenching the steel is a vital step that can make or break a sword.
Right.
A blade for every purpose. What do you think about blades?
I'm sorry, Captain. I drifted off a bit.
Right, of course.
Ugh. Painful.
Well, Guardsman, good patrol. I think we're done, and Hawk, what a surprise. What are you doing here?
Aveline.
Hawk, don't.
We don't have all night, you know.
Would someone please tell me what's going on?
All right. I'm going to draw a picture of where she wants to touch you.
Captain? I should get back to the barracks.
I thought we were friends.
Friends sometimes push.
I have to fix this. He'll file a complaint, ask for a transfer. You're coming to the barracks to explain why you put him on the spot. Double time, Hawk, or so help me. Maker. Where is Donnic? I have to Head this off before it goes to the Viscount. Maybe a formal apology. Something that shows the guards they can still trust me.
Try the copper marigolds again. In hindsight, they weren't the worst option.
It's not funny.
I beg to differ.
You'll beg for more than that if you keep this up.
My apologies, Sirrah Hawk, but I need a moment with the captain.
Guardsman Donnic.
Please.
Aveline.
Guardsman Donnic did not file a complaint. This was all incredibly stupid, and you made it wonderful.
You finally mastered the obvious. I'll take your word on the second part.
You'll get the chance. I was mute and now I want to sing.
Please don't.
There's no way I can ever repay you. Perhaps it's simple. Thank you. Hey, can I ask you something? Was there a moment when you thought I was beyond help?
Not for a second.
You don't lie very well.
As far as you know.
Shout when you need me, Hawk. I'll always be here for you. Just knock first. It's a fine suit.
The finest.
Break it down, distribute it.
The Viscount requires parade armor for his inspections.
Then stuff it and mount it where he can see it. I wear the uniform of the Guard.
His Excellency will not be pleased.
His Excellency can mount it. Trouble, Hawk?
You say that like you expect it.
You don't know the half of it. And why don't you, by the way? Why aren't you tail deep in the problems of this city? Sure, you do good, but petition a title, take a job. The Guard is always looking.
That's a bit harsh, given my record.
Maybe I'm just sick of being the first stop for complaints about people like you.
People like me?
Brand's on about fortune hunters, mercenaries, disreputable professions without purpose. He's a clod, but sometimes... well, it might be good if the city was a little more stable.
One gallows is enough, Aveline.
What? No, I didn't mean... I would never take the Guards to those extremes.
It has to start somewhere.
I don't think it's quite that inevitable, but perhaps we'll just have to disagree.
You got my letter.
You've been gone a while. I thought you had things under control.
I told you I would handle this, and I did. Now, after a year of raids on our shipments, I finally caught one of the culprits. One of our miners, Sabine, has been leaking information. Do you know him? He claims to be from your hometown in Ferelden. I would like you to get this festering sore to divulge who is behind the thefts. When you are ready, I will bring Sabine to you.
Who is this man?
I would not expect you to recall every piss pot from your past.
That's the problem with being a big fish in a small pond. I could never tell the little fish apart.
Well, he brags to his fellows that he grew up with you in Lothering.
Bring Sabine back to my place.
Excellent idea. I will get him now. Here is the dung pile I caught leaking next week's shipment schedule. He won't tell me who he's working with. Who else has been screwing me over? Tell me, you ratting mongrel!
He can't talk with a mouthful of broken teeth.
Please, Miss Hare, help me. I knew you since you was young and Lothering. I knew your mum's family, and your pop. Mike, you got him rest.
Pathetic.
I leave this bastard in your capable hands. Get me when he's ready to talk.
Thank you, Monsieur. Us Lothering folk should stick together.
What made you betray your employer?
Before the Blight, my family had a good life in Lothering. Clean home, fertile land, friends. In Kirkwall, we lived in a hovel. People spit on us, and some days we went hungry.
Trust me, things could be worse. Tell me how to stop the next ambush.
As soon as I tell Hubert what he wants to know, he'll kill me or throw me in prison. My life's not worth much, but my family. I only wanted to give my wife and son a better life.
Hubert's first love is gold. You must have some squirreled away.
I'll tuck some coin away for the future. But if it buys me a future out of prison, Hubert can have it.
Hawk, this is Lily of the Coterie. Given the importance of stopping the cargo robberies, I have enlisted a consultant.
Consultant? Sure. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Well, Doug, are you ready to bark now?
There's an ambush planned tonight at Dietrich Crossing.
Tonight? That leaves you barely enough time to intercept them. You had best leave immediately.
We'll protect your precious shipment, but make sure you have the Coterie's payment. Want me to deal with this runt? Free of charge. I'll drop him in a ditch on our way out.
Yes, take him, with my blessing. I assume my partner will not object?
Sabine will pay you back if you let him go.
Oh, really? I'm more inclined to beat the coin out of this sheep swallow and then kill him.
He's nothing, Hubert. Take his offer and cut him loose so we can get back to business.
Fine. Get me your ill-gotten coin before I change my mind.
Oh, thank you, Miss Ayres. I know I don't deserve it, but thank you.
We're wasting time. If you find naught but corpses at the ambush, it won't be my fault. That was almost too easy. Wait. I recognize that lout.
Who is he?
He's in the Coterie. One of that damned fool Brekker's men.
Tell me about this man.
He operates out of the south side. Always had more balls than sense. His lackeys are loyal. Brekker must be involved.
So your organization is behind this?
We got explicit orders not to. Hubert's been good on his payments. If Brekker ordered this, the rest of his life will be very short and painful.
Let's pay Brekker a social call. We've got a lot to talk about.
I've got to be sure first. I know who to lean on to get answers. Find me in the Undercity.
Don't let them get away!
You Coterie, one of Lily's friends.
Lily was one of ours. She was working for you, and now she's dead. You get one chance. Did you kill her?
Lily didn't die by my hand. Someone else did this.
Explain yourself.
This is a case of the right hand not knowing what the left is doing. One of the scum that attacked my caravans worked for someone in the Coterie named Brekker. Lily said she'd look into it. I think Brekker had her killed.
Brekker? If you're lying, I'll find you. Men, we have to get to the bottom of this. Now.
You must be Brekker.
And you're that lice-covered refugee.
You'd better leave the Bone Pit shipments alone. Understand?
You're making demands of me. You own half a stake in a mine and you think you're somebody, huh? Some Fereldans don't have the courtesy of knowing when to bloody die.
I found the thieves responsible for the cargo theft. I put them out of business.
Excellent. With that resolved, the mine's profits will soar. For now, partner, please be sure to visit our workers occasionally. You have a knack for keeping them happy.
What do you want, Hawk? I have no interest in adding to my distractions.
And yet you sent a delegate by Viscount.
A brief attempt to educate. If it were not that door was not on my neck, it could have been used to show the price of green. But you know the outcome of that. These fools are determined to be wrong. I won't waste the effort again.
I'll probably regret this, but you should know your delegate is missing.
Anyone else had no word that would have been their last. You handle this, not your fool of the Viscount.
As best I can.
Then I wait. But know this. The provocations we have suffered have worked. If this is not resolved, I can't fulfill my duty to the queue of far less annoyance by succeeding through.
This is it. This contains the gallows. Within Marcus is seemingly mistaken for thieves, not conspirators. Are you ready to help me find evidence of a tranquil solution?
Let's go.
Please, I haven't done anything wrong.
That's a lie. What do we do to mages who love?
I just want to see Mom. No one ever told her why they were taking me.
No, this is their place. We cannot.
So you admit your attempted escape. You know what happens to made girls who don't tell lie around here, don't you?
No! Don't take me tranquil! I'll do anything!
That's right. Once you're tranquil, you'll do anything I ask.
The Chantry frowns on towers as a person of their charges.
Who is this?
You fiends will never touch on my mages again. They will die. I will have every weakness and drama these abuses.
It's over, our answers. They're all dead.
Get away from me, demon!
I am no demon. I am one of them. It's you call me Mika.
And there's that girl is a mage. We will let her from being made tranquil.
Yes, I can be healed now.
She's the reason you're fighting Anders. Don't turn her now.
Please,
I almost... If you were here, I need to get out of here.
You saved my life, What was that thing?
He's a demon, whether he admits it or not.
Can I go home now?
Find your parents, but don't stay there. You leave Kirkwall.
I know. There's nowhere to wrestle with men when I find me. Thank you, Sarah. Andrade herself just took you in that room.
Trash. We need that anymore. You almost killed that girl. Justice has been warped by my rage. I cannot contain him any longer.
Maybe it's time to realize your limitations.
Yes, fine. Kick me while I'm down. Clearly you're right about everything.
It was a suggestion, not a condemnation.
I will not put myself in this position again. So you're just going to stop? Let him tell us win. Maybe they deserve to win. Maybe they're right. How could I fight for the freedom mages when I'm someone full of words that freedom brings? Mages are dangerous. That's why this is so hard. Make yourself prove that they control our powers. I don't know how. How can I even trust myself to heal anymore? What if that creature vengeance turns on patient? Will I exist? Will I lose his fury? Maybe the Chantry mediators. Did you find anything on Sir Ulrich?
Or was the tranquil solution just another of my delusions?
It exists, but it was Aurora's plan. No one else's.
Let me see that. The Divine rejected the idea. Meredith rejected the idea. This was not what I expected. Perhaps I should try talking to the Grand Cleric. Maybe she's more reasonable than I thought. Thank you. I will think on what you said.
What are you doing?
Putting out milk. I miss having it around. But I think where the refugees have gone along. Or they may be eaten them. You know, I've been meaning to thank you. You don't need to stick your neck out mages here. But you have. One day, we'll make a world where your sister can be free again. Mages cannot be treated just by association. I can't tell you how reassuring this is. Sometimes, you're the only reason I think I'm crazy. When you just believed in me, I almost killed that poor girl. I knew you meant it. You say this to make me feel better. You make me think I could really do this. Leading a revolution.
If you want to be an example of mages, you need to master yourself. After what had happened, I will never forget that. Every day, I feel the need for vengeance growing inside me. But I know you will never do suicide to him.